Hi there, Jamie Keat here today at Teachers Tech. Hope you're having a great day today. Today we're going to do a tutorial on OneNote. OneNote is a great productivity tool, free from Microsoft to organize your business, your life, school, so many different uses you can use it for. And today I'm going to show you a lot of different things you can do with it. Everything's going to be timestamped down below. So if you're looking for a specific section, just look in the description and click on it and that part of the video will jump to it. The other thing to note is that there's different versions of OneNote. I'm going to be working on Windows 10. You got from your OneNote 2016, which is I can also put on my computer here. And at the end of this video, and you can jump in the timestamps below to this, I'll explain the differences between what I'm showing you in the Windows 10 version that comes with Windows versus the 2016. And if you're on a Mac, there's a little bit of a difference. Everything kind of gets organized the same and it works similar, but there is some differences on the view of it. So you might want to check out some other tutorials too. But let's get started in this tutorial on OneNote today to get you everything in your life organized. And remember, this is a free product. You will need a Microsoft account to do this. Let's get started here today. So I'm going to go ahead and open my OneNote here. So when I click on it, and this is what I was pointing out earlier, is this is what I'm working with here today, my Windows 10 OneNote. This is OneNote 2016 that has a few different features and looks a little different here. And at the end, I'll explain that. So I'm going to go ahead and open my OneNote. What I already have some notebooks in. And I'm just going to show you how I've organized some things, how I use it, and then be adding some more to it. So you can see I have notebooks just over here on the left-hand side. I have Jamie's notebook, YouTube, and home. Inside, so if I click on my YouTube one, so if I'm planning my videos, inside I have sections. And so for myself, and now anybody could break this the way they want them to, I might have months like this. So I have March, and then inside March, I have pages. So these might be different videos, and you can kind of get an idea of different videos I'm thinking about inside coming up in March. And then if I click on April, some ideas here too. Like I said, I like how everything just syncs nicely through your phone or your tablets. I have a different video on showing iPad and how it syncs so nicely to this one. It looks the same, and as you enter something there, if you want to sit it on your computer, it will just sync over on this. And so that's one of the differences actually between this one and 2016 is this one syncs everything to the cloud, when on 2016 you can save locally on your machine too. So in this one, you can see how I've set up. I have my notebook, then I have my sections, and I have pages. Now, these things can be moved around just by clicking and dragging on them. So you can see from my notebooks to my sections to my pages on this. So you can move around very, very quickly, set things up the way you want. So if this was an order, maybe I drag it around to set a certain order that I plan on producing my videos. To make new notebooks, all I have to do, I tend to just right click on everything. I can look at archived notebooks here. These are ones maybe I've opened in the past. Everything gets saved in my OneDrive on this, but you can see these are some example ones and different things I've created in the past. You can't officially delete those notebooks from here. You'd actually have to go into OneDrive online and delete it from there. So if I go ahead and add another notebook, I'm just going to right click on this one and I'm going to go new notebook here. So I'll just call this one work and go ahead and create notebook. Like I said, when I create it here, it's going to be saved to the cloud and sync across any of my devices here. And so now I have, you can see I have I got a new notebook here. You can see it says work with the little sync on it. That's the sync symbol right here. Now inside work, I can create new sections. They default to give you a section and a page on each. So if I wanted to change these, I'm just going to right click and you can see the different options that you have here. I'm just going to go ahead and rename this. You can see how you can delete it, but maybe I'm going to put down meetings. So I had to plan for some meetings. And maybe on this page will be meetings, and I can call this one. I can click right on this page now. Maybe it will be March meeting, so I have a place to put different information down on here. So, and as I showed you before, as you create, you can drag these and make sure you take advantage of the right click to see what all your different options are on any of these. So even on the page, you can see how you can cut, copy, paste, or delete them around. I'll mark them as red, pin to the start on it here. A couple things with the settings and the views. Let's just go up to our settings. Over on the right hand side up top, you can see we can go to settings. And as I open that, I'm just going to go to my options, and you can see how sync notebooks automatically sync down all files and images, class notebook tools. What I kind of wanted to point out here is where your quick notes are going to go to on this one. So if you look right here, choose a notebook for quick notes. If I click on that, I can choose, so quick notes might be maybe a web clipping or where to send my emails. I can send my emails, actually I can pick one and send it right to OneNote, so maybe I want to organize things that way. I'll show you that a little later. But so I can pick a different one. I'm just going to leave it at Jamie's notebook here and hit OK. So that means any of the quick notes I take will go into this one and create sections and pages right within there. The other thing I want to show you to get you started is your different view mode. Right now you can see from my different notebooks, my sections and pages, but you don't have to see all that. If you go to view up top and go to navigation panes, you can see you can show sections and pages, show only pages, hide all. So if I wanted to hide all, so maybe I want more room, I could go to hide all, and you're just on that single page right now. I can hit the back arrow here and go back and open up anytime. I like to have that because then it just has more room on the page you're working on. You can right click too. You can see navigation panes over here, and you can do the same thing. So if I wanted to show all, now those will all stay on. So that's just something about your setup with how the structure is and some settings, options, and your view. Let's move on to inputting some of the cool things inside OneNote. Before I start with some of the basic features of adding content, I just want to show you when you go ahead and click on your name up top, you can see the account that you're signed into. You can add more accounts. So maybe you have a work account or you have different Microsoft accounts. You can have multiple accounts set up with this, and you can then switch between your OneNote account. And remember, they just have to sync with it here. The other thing that I want to show you that could save you a lot of time, and if you're familiar with Microsoft products, you'll know this, but this is the tell me up top here. So what does tell me do? Well, tell me does just what you want. If you want to just tell it what you want. So if I write something in here, if I wanted to know how to insert, if I start typing insert here, insert a table in here. So if I go to insert table, it will just do it for me. So if you can't find something inside OneNote or again other Microsoft projects, look at the little light bulb up here for tell me, and then just ask it, just start writing, and you don't even have to be correct sometimes. It will it will make sure it will help you find what you're looking for. And just another thing to point out, remember you do have your undo and redo up top there too. So another thing that I just wanted to show you here before we start any typing, and I've already showed you the options, is the settings. You can have in options have a default font here. So if you want to know your default size and font, you can pick it here, and then you can also look at the OneNote preview, the proofing, and autocorrect. Turn it on or off, whatever you would like on it. So let's just go over some of the basic things with inserting on a page here. So I'm under my YouTube page here. You can see I've just added another notebook, and at any time, if you want another page I added, at any time, just right click where you want to add, so you can see it where I can add new notebooks, new sections, right click, or new pages, like so. Now, if I was under free video editors, if I just wanted to type anywhere on the page, I can just click here. So maybe I'm just trying to think of different free software for video editors that I've done already. So OpenShot, so you can see how I can quickly just write. I can click on it. I have a move handle. I can move it around. One of the things I like about OneNote is just how you can take your notes and quickly move them around, maybe into a different order order, where you don't have to be so linear with it. You can, where however you want to imagine your notes set up, you can on this one. With any of these too, then I won't spend a lot of time at this because you should be familiar with the different ones if you've worked with any of the editing tools with Microsoft or other word processing, but you can see how you have your different options to bold, italicize, underline. We have a highlight tool here if you want it highlighted. We have font color to change. We can format painter, and we can clear all format to take everything away, which is good. Sometimes you add too much stuff, you can just click it. We have our bullets, we have our numbering, we have our indenting and increase or decrease. Now these tags here, so a lot of times you think about tags as a searchable thing. These are more just a visual tag on this one. So if I was gonna maybe make this a checklist, I could go ahead and do this. So if I was adding another one, I'll go with shortcut. And so you see I have I can do this as a checklist. I can add different ones here too. So if this was super important, and again, remember, they're not searchable. Inside OneNote 2016, they are searchable. So that might be something important for you when you're trying to choose between OneNote or OneNote 2016 on this one. You can see you have your different headings that you can choose from just to set things up. So that's your basics of some of the with the editor and the home here. Most people are very familiar with this. Remember, you can copy and paste things over here too. So if I've just grabbed a link from my YouTube channel, I've just copied it already. So I'm just going to paste it here, and you can see as I paste it, it puts the whole video in here too. I can even hit play from it, and it will go ahead and hit play. So what I like about this is when I'm using this for my YouTube stuff, so maybe I find a good video somewhere, I liked how a person showed something and I'm trying to find points, maybe I just go to it and put it into the page, and then I keep everything organized, and I can just go back and watch it there. So it's a great way to kind of keep all, from videos to websites, to just copy paste things right onto a specific page to it. Let's move on to some of the other great features with the inserting, the math functions, the drawing inside OneNote, what we can do. All right, so now we're getting to some of my favorite features inside OneNote here. And before we start with some of the insert things that we have on this menu, on any page, if you want to customize it a little bit more, check out under View, we have Page Color and Rule Line. So if I want to quickly change a color of a page, I just have to click and choose, and I can add different rule lines. So if I want more of just lines, or I could use some grid, and you can always change it back and forth the way you want to. All right, so let's go over to, I'm just gonna go over to my work page here to show you some of the examples inside Insert here. So we can quickly add tables, and I already showed you this in the Tell Me here, but if I click on a table, I can pick the size of the table that I want to insert in. This can be moved around the page. I can click Tab to add more rows on it here too. So you can quickly highlight different parts of it. You can see if I wanted to delete a row or delete something, I can go ahead and highlight it and make some changes to that table here. I'm just going to select it and hit delete. Now, one of my favorite things to use is inserting PowerPoints, or sorry, PDFs of a PowerPoint inside my OneNote. So if I click on File, and you can see I can insert as an attachment or insert PDF printout. I'll just show you the difference in these ones. So if I pick insert as a link, you can see I have a presentation, my PowerPoint or the PDF I've saved already on it. So if I put in open, you can see this is just a link. Same thing if I inserted it as a attachment again, and if I went to PDF, there it is there. So these are just links. What I like to do is insert as a PDF printout on it. So a PDF printout, and this will take a few seconds to process as it gets put in here. But I really like to use this, especially when I'm working on my iPad and I have the pen, because I can insert these slides that get put in one at a time, and I can write over them. If someone's giving a presentation, I can make notes on top of them. As I said, I have a video about that, about OneNote on the iPad. I'll put the link down below. So you can see that all these are in here that I can go through. This is the PDF part of it. Now the thing to remember here is under view, I'm going to zoom out here. So if I zoom out, you don't have to see things so large. Think of OneNote as having this large canvas, and you can put so many different things on it. Maybe you're writing on a certain area, then you can zoom up to see, zoom out, and zoom in. So take advantage of those options to see all the different things too. The other way you can insert different things into it, I'm just going to change the size of this. I have my file here. I can drag things right over into here too. So you can see how it added a link on it. Here's the PDF. Now, when I drag the PDF, it asks me, do you want to insert this as a printout or an attachment here? I'm just going to go to cancel because I've already inserted it. But I just wanted to show you a different way to do this. So I'm just going to go ahead to a new page. I have April here already created here. I'm going to go back to insert here. So there's inserting some different files, examples, pictures. Again, if you're from your camera or how you're having your pictures synced, I'll just quickly pick one from a file here. Here's one of a 3D printer I was working with here. And you can see, again, I can resize these. I can move it around the page if I wanted it in a different spot on it. Click somewhere else on the page. I can insert links. So if I wanted to insert a link, I could go ahead and type the text I wanted it to be displayed. So if I was putting my website, I could put the text to be displayed on it, and then I could just go ahead and put the link underneath like so and hit insert, and then I have a link to that page to it. Audio, I like using audio because you can make, especially again on mobile devices, if you're in a class or need to record something. And again, everything syncs here. So if I click on audio, I'll get this, and it's recording right now. You can see the timer right here increasing. If I want to stop my recording, I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. So I have this 8-second recording right in here. So I'm going to zoom up because I'm zoomed out from before. So I'll hit this, and here's my audio. I'll go a little further in. So notice I have these little, when I click on it, I can hit play up here, or I can hit play down here. I'll get this, and it's recording right now. You can see the timer right here. So it was recording what I was saying there. So this could be a great way for anybody taking notes and everything too. If you just couldn't catch up to write everything down, just do a little recording and organize it in your OneNote. Going back to insert here, I'm just going to create a brand new page here. I'll get to May. And then inside stickers, you can see real quickly, they have lots of different cute stickers that you can add to anything here. Continue on, meeting details. So if you want to connect with your Outlook on this one, you got to sign into your account. So if you are using Outlook, you can connect that one for meetings into your OneNote here to make it work very smoothly together. The next point, researcher. I like this one too. So if you're writing a paper or needed to get cited information, you're just kind of collecting all your different information into one spot. If I look into researcher here, let's say I'll close down some of these windows. Let's say if I was looking something on leadership. Okay, so I'll click on there, do a search, and it searches the web for me. Notice images come up too, but here this is under all, but maybe I just want journals. So if I go to journals, and if I click on maybe this first one, and I can open it in a browser, but I can also add this source as a citation. So I like how it kind of adds everything, gives me the date and everything on it. And so I have that citation right inside my OneNote here to keep everything organized on it. So do take a look. If you're doing research at school, this could be a great app to help everything keep everything organized for you. Now the math option, and I'm going to show you in two different ways here because this is just under the insert. I'll show you something in the draw too. But if we go to math, what it allows me to do, so if I write, I'm just going to keep this easy. I'll go 8, let's go just 8 minus 5. We'll keep this really easy. If I click on this and select my math, notice over here, I'll close down this researcher, it identifies it as 8 minus 5, and then I can select an action to evaluate, and it gives me the answer is 3. So you can see how it shows steps. I don't think there'd be many steps to this one, but there's even graphing. If you put a graphing equation in here, you could take advantage of that. So those are just some of the great insert features in OneNote. We're going to go over to Draw here and show you some of the cool things that you can do within that. Here's a tip for you before we get to the draw tool. If you're getting a lot of notes inside your OneNote, use the search tool, and you're just going to find it up here, this magnifying glass. So when you click on it, and all you have to do is type what you're looking for. So I know I did type something with Word and on this one, but as you get more and more notes, you might be trying to figure out where you put them. You can see right here, it finds the document for me. So if I go ahead, I've typed it here in a couple places. So if I click on it, it will bring me to that page. So take advantage of that. I'm going to go back and I'm just going to pick another notebook here. And I'm going to go to the draw tools because there's some really cool features inside the draw tool. What we're going to do first is just show you the pen. So across here, you can see the different types of these ones. So you can have the eraser, notice it's backwards. So I'll just write something here. You can quickly scribble on the different pages here. You can change the type of pen that you want from highlighting. You can see right here, you can add different features to it. Now that's fine, but the cool things I find here is, so if I was going to turn on, maybe I wanted to, and I already have it turned on, I'll turn it off real quickly. If I was going to take a shape, so if I was trying to draw a triangle, so there's my bad triangle. If I turn on ink to shape, now do the same thing, it will make the triangle. It recognizes what I'm trying to draw. The other thing it does too is it could recognize my words. So if I go ahead and I'm going to type, I'll just type, or not type, but I'll draw high here. And I'm going to go ahead and select select this here. And I'm just going to drag over it and I'm going to go ink to text. And notice it put it right into my text here. So it can change your handwriting or sort of printing into a more of a neat thing to have if you have messy writing like myself. We have a ruler here that we can work with, turn on and off. And here we are with the math function again here too. So it works kind of the same, but now if I was going to, let's say if I go and I'm going to write 5. Oops, I should go off the shape because it was thinking I was on the shape. So I'm just back on the pen here. So if I write 5 plus 5 here, and now I'm going to go and make sure I select this here. Did I get it all? Nope, didn't get it all there. And then if I use the math, notice it recognizes 5 plus 5 here. So I can actually give it an action. You can see the answer and I could show the steps just like before. So it can recognize these different things on it. So make sure you have it selected, all selected when you do this to it. So those are just some of the great features in the draw. I still have a lot more things to show you here with working with how to send an email to your OneNote, because it's a great way to keep track, and making sure the mobile use and a few more things. So make sure you keep watching on this. Something I recommend installing for you is the OneNote Web Clipper. The OneNote Web Clipper is an extension, so I'm in the Chrome store because I'm using Chrome. You can add it to your other browsers too, but once you just find it in the Chrome store, you can hit add and you're up here with the extensions. So how do you use this? Well, let's say I'm using, I have my travel section that I have and I'm planning a trip and maybe I want to send different hotels I find the web pages just to that section. So what I do is I just have to go up and click on the OneNote Web Clipper up top here, and it's going to give me a preview right in here. I can write something up top. Now this is the full page, and I can what I can do at this point is I can go to a region of this page. I can go to an article, bookmark, and then I pick a section. I want to put this to my travel, and I go ahead and hit clip. So where it goes from there is if I go over to my OneNote, you can see it will be in my home and I clipped it twice there. But you can see now that it's put into my section. So I could have all these different hotels organized as I find different ones as I'm doing research on the web. So a really handy thing to add. The next thing what I like to use is the email to OneNote here. So if I go to this one, and you can just type in save emails to OneNote, and you'll get to this page and you have a little setup to do. But what you do is the default, there's going to be a default email to this account here that you have, but you can add other emails, and it doesn't have to be just OneNote. You can see I've added this other one, this info@teachers.tech. So how it works is if I want to send, maybe I get an itinerary from something, or maybe I get a bill and I want to put it to that travel section, I can forward that with just putting me@onenote.com, and then it's going to send it right into the section I pick right down here. So I tell it where I want it to go. So I could just forward emails right into there. So maybe I'm getting ready for travel and I want all my emails for that in one place, and I can just open up my OneNote app on my phone and then just go in them. So what I would do, I'll just give you a little example here. So if I open up an email, and you can see I have from this Outlook here, but then to me@onenote.com, and I hit send. And when I send it, and I'll just click over here because I already just sent one, where it's going to go. If I go over to my notebooks, you can see here's a few different emails that I've sent from here. So then this one is just something I've done from my YouTube stuff, but it will go right into it, and you can see I've sent it from a different account on it. The next thing what I wanted to show you would be to share. So maybe I want to share my travel or share work. I can, what I can do is I can share an individual page. I could publish a page. So if I go over to here and click up share, it was already open, but if I click share, you can see how this pops up. So if I share this page is already ready to publish. So I could copy this link and send it to someone, and they can see. So anyone with this view will be able to see this. So I can change this by stop sharing. You're going to have this defaulted one like so. The thing what I like to do is you can share, if you look at this, if I drop down up here, I can share the actual workbook, and this gives me some more options. So what I can do is type an email of somebody I want to work with on a notebook, and then I can give them edit or view, so you can work together with this. I mean, they're going to need the Microsoft account to work on this too. Lastly, if you want to print your information, and I've kind of gone up to settings before, but you can see if there's a certain page you want to print, just go up and click on it, and you can see how you can pick the different the different modes on all this too, and the pages you want to print. So those are just a few more tips to get more out of OneNote for you, but we're not done yet. So we're going to keep going and try to give you as much information as I can on OneNote. So I have a couple of my devices open here. I'm using both Apple products here with the new iPhone X and my iPad, and you can see how everything just works so easily across all my different notebooks. My pages are all there, and I work on my mobile quite a bit, mobile devices for OneNote, and then I like to sit on my computer, maybe doing some extra stuff with it. But check out my video. I have a full video about OneNote on the iPad that goes through it, how to use it completely, and some great tips on it, how to take some great notes, whether you're in meetings or maybe a student at school. Yeah, definitely this is what I think is the highlight of OneNote, is just how everything kind of goes across all devices. You can also use OneNote completely online. Like I said, all the notes are backed up to the cloud, which works great across all devices. So when you're on this OneNote page, just simply sign into it, log into your account here. I'll just quickly log into mine here. And you'll be able to see you have access to all the different things. So I'm going to go through, and here you can see my notebooks right away. So if I went back over to, let's see, my work one, if I click on it, and it should open up with all the same information. As you can see, the presentations, the different ones that I made, so you can log right in. The nice thing about it, it's set up very similar. You can see how off to the left, how your from your notebooks to your section to your pages are set up with the different, it looks slightly different, but you'll work mainly the same in here. The one thing is the one thing is I want to show you, I'm going to go over to OneDrive, and inside OneDrive, if you ever want to fully delete, if you want to fully delete, this is where your files are going to be stored inside here. So if I'm just going to go to recent files here, you can see all my different OneNote pages are right here, the ones I just created. And at this point, I could right click on these, and this is where I can remove them here. So if you ever wanted to get rid of them completely, they're going to be saved in your OneDrive, and this is how everything syncs together. So let's move over now to look at some of the differences. If you're not sure to go from OneNote 2016 or just OneNote, I'll just open up my OneNote 2016 to show you some of the differences, and I'll show you a quick walk through the Mac, which looks very similar to what I just showed you in this tutorial. So I've just opened OneNote 2016 to give you like a real quick the differences between them, main differences. You can see right away there's a visual difference right here on the pages, everything we have on the right hand side instead of the left. But let's look at some of the other things. So if I go over back to my file, just back here, I'm going to go back to my file. I want to show you the export. So you can actually export and save these locally with the OneNote Windows one that I was using. Everything is saved in the cloud. The next thing I wanted to show you, if we go under Home, notice I talked about the tags, and it has the tags like in OneNote. The other thing you can do is search the tags, which is really a very useful feature, especially if you're tagging, you want to find things in a hurry. But the other one, you can do your search very, very quickly with specific keywords to it too. Under Insert, you can see it connects much easier to the other Microsoft. So if you're in the Microsoft world and you want to connect to spreadsheets, it works very well that way too. Another thing I'm going to go over to, and you can see many of the things are the same. There is a different look difference. I can link notes, and this is a handy feature where I can be connecting, again, right to Microsoft Word, different things. So everything is just organized in that one place. These are just some of the features. Both are very, very good tools. I've used them both. I've tended to go to just the Windows one. I like how it goes across all my devices very, very easily here. So that's what I use, but it's to each their own on it. Try Microsoft 2016 on it to see what you like. I will just give you a brief overview. I'll show you what the Mac one looks like now, just in case you're on a Mac. So I've just switched over to my Mac, and I'm just going to give it a little quick run through, just clicking on different things. You can see how everything has synced over to it. The setup, there is a few differences with Macs. You can see with some of the visual, but the setup is the same, and you're going to find all the same functions from the tutorial that I just showed you. What I like about is how it goes across my mobile devices, from my tablet to my phone, and it all looks the same on this one. So if you're a Mac, the tutorial I just gave you should feel very comfortable in using it there. So I hope you liked this OneNote tutorial today, and I hope it kind of gets you started with using OneNote. I'm going to be creating more videos about effective ways to use OneNote, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little bell notification so you get notified when my new videos come out. Thanks for watching this week. If you found this helpful, make sure you share this with a few people, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you next time here at Teachers Tech.